ask you please to turn off your phones, turn on your ears, and I'm turning the stage over to the musicians. Break a leg, guys.
Hey, thank you. Hey, welcome. I just need to warm him up, you see, that's all. And it's so nice to be here tonight, and especially opening for the Roberts. And tonight, I'm gonna ask the audience, how many of you find quantum physics a little bit mysterious?
Not at all.
Oh, good. I love reading about it, but I just can't kind of always grasp it. But there is one aspect of it that is so mysterious, and which is that one that I always talk about that I can't remember because it's quantum entanglement. And quantum entanglement is where one particle can be here and another one can be miles and miles away, and they communicate like with waves so quickly that it's faster than the speed of light. Mysteries, right? The only thing I can think of is that, you know, when you think you want to call your friend and you think, oh, I haven't talked to so-and-so for a while, so you go to dial it and they're dialing you at the same time. Or you go to text somebody and the next thing you know, they're texting you at the same time. I just think that's quantum entanglement, don't you?
That works.
Yes. So this is the Mystery Blues here. Some things where you've seen them 1,000 times, some things are brand new. Some things where they just make you wonder, like why these blues keep following you. Why do people have to look at your color? Care about who you pray to? What makes a man want to move on over and get away from these mystery blues? Mystery why we die for love. Mystery why we fight for peace. The mystery why I play the blues. I'll tell you something that made me feel good. Oh, Without a doubt, there's nothing that's new. Oh, absolutely, nothing is true. You run from the fear that will set you free. And Mystery Blues, you know they're killing me. right, thank you all so much. You know, busking has become a YouTube phenomenon. You know, we used to just do it on the street, and then now it's just on YouTube, so you can make a lot of money at it. But last night, Lenny and I and the band were busking down in Fort Myers for Music Walk. About 10 other groups were out there. It's so much fun getting out there. I love watching the people that come up and what they put in. We made a lot of money last night. That was really
A
good.
very good night.
Yeah, I don't know what happened, but it's so much fun when little kids come up and they put the money in there. But anyway, busking, you know. I was going to tell a story a few weeks ago. I'll tell it now. There's this kid, 16, playing down in down the shore in New Jersey, and Asbury Park, and he was playing in front of Madame Marie's psychic library, and she was a mystic psychic person, and she got to know this kid that was busking in front of her stand, and she went up to him and said, "You know what, someday I can read the future, and someday, Bruce, you're going to be really a star. In fact, you're going to be so important that you're going to piss off the President of the United States." And I guess she was right, but anyway, here we go with our song. We'll do it 4 times. An old blues man playing for change one hot humid night on a South Florida street. Said he could take all my troubles, my regrets, and my cares if I'd wrap them up with some kindness and put them in this case over there. He played some jazz and he sang some blues. Came from his heart, you could almost tell what he'd been through. You had to wonder what in his life he'd seen playing his songs. On so many streets, people coming and gone. From the benches in Tompkins, you could hear a saxophone, or outside some 6th Street dive from alone. Their eyes say it all with kindness and you. They say, I'll pray for you with these blues reveries. Young boy and his father were passing on by. The child seemed intrigued with the words of the song. Said, "Dad, you think we'd feel better if he played one for us? Can't really hurt, you know, and he sounds kind of good." Well, the man took out $1, and as it rolled out of his hand, he talked about his wife and how sick she had been. The old blues man said, "Thank you," started playing the song. The child shed a tear and his dad took his arm. And that old man, he said, "You know, I'll take all your troubles, your regrets, and your cares. Just wrap them up with some kindness and put them in my case over here. I'll play for you some blues and a little bit of jazz. I hope it makes you feel better, and I'll usually have." Then a young couple stopped to listen for a while. I couldn't tell what was missing, but they managed to smile. The woman reached in her purse, tossed some coins in the case. Seems a lot of history could get stored in a young person's face. Confession, they say, is good for the soul. Kids carried a burden I bet nobody should have to know. It didn't surprise the busker though when they paused for a moment, looked at each other and touched. They were alone. And he said, "You know, I'll take all your troubles, your regrets, and your cares. Just wrap them up with some kindness and put them in my case funky when you hear a street musician's song. Just add up your good and bad life score. Wrap it up with some kindness of cause. Toss it in the case, enjoy the relief. Cause the blues is a feeling, you know, that we can't always beat. Just whisper the words that man sings. And let your life unfold, sans the attached strings. Said, you know, I'll take all your troubles, your regrets, and your cares. Just wrap them up with some kindness and put them in my case over here. Play for you some blues, a little bit of jazz. If it touches your heart, well, the rest it should pass. Thank you all. Don't let it go to your head. They're almost all friends. So how many of you have had practice marriages? Yeah, and that means that also goes for people that have lived together for a while, been in love, you know, and it just hasn't worked out. So this next song is for all of you, and you ready for it?
You too.
Yes. Yeah, I've had my practice marriage, but I thought 7 years was going to be enough, but sometimes musician men are difficult.
No,
They say the
really?
same thing about women. Musician women, I'm just saying.
Well, I'm glad to know that there's no gender issue here.
My practice marriage was 20 years.
Oh, see? There you go. So this is for
I'm
you,
a slow
Cindy.
learner.
You ready, Len?
I think so.
Well, I'll take my if you walk out that door. Ain't no sense in gambling on love anymore. Can't turn a heart, you know, I'd rather just fold. 'Cause darling, I've been here before. Said, darling, I've been here before. Takes time on Twitter. Oh, life is too short. What counts for a man is paying the cost. Can't hold on to dreams that have all gone. Darling, I've been here before. I said, darling, I've been here before. Turn around when you leave. I see you wiping your eyes. Remember the good times and all the times that we tried. Close that door softly, baby. You might have to open it up again. 'Cause darling, I've been here before. I said, darling, I've been here before. Thank you very much. That horn sounds so good.
Thank you.
Yeah. I think this next one, I think you play the flute on this
Flauta.
next one.
Okay.
This is our rehearsal. It happens when you have somebody like this next to you. You just play something and all of a sudden good stuff comes out. I tell you, it's amazing. Anyway, 10 years ago now, 10 years ago, there was this tragedy in Charleston, South Carolina, and my niece lives in Charleston. I had just been there 2 weeks before and walked down the street, people making baskets and everybody's so fun. So it was such a tragedy when this very ill person, violent person shoots up a church and all. And I was so upset. And like a lot of songwriters, the only thing we do when we get upset is we sit down and wake up and write a song about it or something. But it was heartening. About 3 days after, my niece called me and she said, Uncle Bill, do you know something? The other day about 2,000 people walked over the Ravenel Bridge. We were with them and we were all singing songs of peace and love. And I thought to myself, well, maybe there's some hope, you never know. But sometimes I think the good Lord, I think he might have marketed that Adam and Eve prototype a little too soon. Don't you think? I should have adjusted that human nature thing a little. But anyway, that's just my thing. So here we are. So here's our song to get rid of that, whatever. Through the tears, but her eyes belied the innocence of a child's younger years. Why are you so sad, I asked. Can it be a broken heart? But then an icy chill came over me, and everything got dark. I waited for an answer, wasn't sure that it would come. I tried to think if it was something, that I might have said or done. But in the stillness of the moment, I had a passing thought. What if she were looking down on us and saw what evil brought? What she said, crazy isn't funny when it's mixed up with hate, and you can't ignore the sadness in any name but its fate. You lose a ray of sunshine, well, you lose a ray of hope, and there are no simple answers to anything that we know. few I could give away. I figured kindness begets caring, and love outweighs hate. I don't want to lose a ray of sunshine, can't afford to lose any hope, but I will never understand those things I just don't want to know. And that's why she said, crazy isn't funny when it's mixed up with hate, and you can't ignore the sadness in any neighbor's face. You lose a ray of sunshine, well, you lose a ray of hope, and there are no simple answers to anything that we know. Well, I thank you all. Thank you very much. Okay, Klaus, I'm going to switch guitars right now, so
Bill,
good luck.
one more. One more.
Yes,
That's exactly all we have
that's
left.
all we need, right?
You know, you sit at home and you practice all this stuff to see if you can get it in a half hour, and inevitably you lose your concentration. And then I talk too much. Okay, this is called a cigar box guitar, and there we go. And it was given to me a few years ago by a nice lady at the church we play folk music for, and her brother had passed on, and she gave it to me because she knew I played a diddly bow, which is a one-string cigar box. Anyway, I had this Daddy Mojo cigar box guitar. Now, can you imagine Daddy Mojo cigar box guitar? So you look it up and you find out where this Daddy Mojo guitar, and you find out that it's made in Montreal, in Montreal,
Yeah.
Quebec. Yeah. And so I'm thinking, well, on the back here I looked and it has a sticker from Daddy Mojo, but it also has an inscription here written by the guy that made this. And Daddy Mojo's name is Lenny Robert. Now, what's the coincidence in that, right? So you say, I think that Frank is from Montreal area, and I've since disclosed everything I was going to say tonight to him because I couldn't hold on to it anymore. Anyway, I called up. I managed to find what's nice about cyberspace is you can find people. So I managed to find Lenny, and I called up Lenny Robert, and I said, "Do you have any relationship to this incredible guitar player from that I think his family is from Montreal area?" And he says, "My family is, I'm first generation. My mother and father came over from France, so I'm first generation, and I don't think we're related." So I was somewhat disappointed in that. But just the idea that we've got a Daddy Mojo from Montreal, and it's by a Robert. I mean, how do you miss up? And not only that, I had written a song that has sort of a Bo Diddley beat. And it's probably no coincidence that he probably had a cigar box guitar and he called himself Bo Diddley instead of Diddley Bo. But what do I know? And Lenny Robert, when I told him I had this cigar box, I said, "It looks like you got a lot of the stuff from a hardware store." He said it was one of the first ones I made in 2016. And it did come from hardware stores, some of the stuff. He said, "Is the pickup still working?" I said, "Yes, it is." I said, "I broke the knob, but it's all working." So here's our Montreal connection. Came in my life like a hurricane, pulled my heart with the tears and pain. Jacked me up and you knocked me down, washed me away and you let me drown. Well, I bought you a ring and a Cadillac, thought you loved me and you'd come back. Bought you a house with a big backyard, but you hopped the ring and you sold the car. I said, being with you was like rolling the dice. I never know what's gonna roll tonight. Snake eye nasty, sweet all night. I'll be with you as I roll in the dice. She took all my money down to New Orleans, played all the games and the slot machines. Figured I'd be there when the luck got bad. I said I would, but I lost my head. I said being with you is like rolling the dice. Never know what's gonna roll tonight. Snake-eyed nasty, sweet all night. I'll be with you as I roll the dice. Oh Lord, honey. Well, I gamble on life and I gamble on love. Lost it both, prayed to God above. Lord said, Billy, don't you be no fool. Give up that woman, she took you to school. Being with you was like rolling the dice. Never know what you're gonna roll tonight. Snake-eyed nasty, sweet all night. I'll be with you as I roll in the dice. Oh, thank you all so much. You're ready for a great show.